Hi, I'm Chris. After suffering from CFS for 6 years, I fully recovered. I created this healing program to guide and support you on your healing journey from ME/CFS, fibromyalgia, long COVID, and related post-viral fatigue syndromes. If you haven't watched the previous videos in this series, I recommend starting from the beginning, as each video builds on the last. You can find them for free on my website at healing-space.online. In the previous video, we explored how conditions like chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, and post-COVID syndrome arise not from a single trigger, but from an accumulated stress load. Even before the onset of illness, many of us had unknowingly carried significant stress, which eventually reached a tipping point. This point is often marked by a trigger like a viral infection, accident, surgery, emotional trauma, or environmental stressor, pushing our system beyond its capacity to cope. In this video, we will explore how this stress overload dysregulates our autonomic nervous system, leading to the wide range of symptoms we experience. For this, we use an adapted model of the polyvagal theory by Dr. Stephen Porges. It explains how our autonomic nervous system responds to stress. According to the polyvagal theory, the autonomic nervous system, or ANS, operates through three main stages. The parasympathetic rest and digest state, the sympathetic fight or flight state, and the freeze or shutdown state. The parasympathetic rest and digest state is characterized by a sense of safety, calm, and connection. In this state, our body is relaxed and focused on maintaining essential functions like digestion, healing, and restoration. It is also linked to social engagement, where we feel comfortable interacting with others and emotionally connected. This state promotes recovery and helps keep our internal systems in balance, allowing us to recharge and feel at ease. The sympathetic fight or flight state is characterized by hyperarousal. In this state, our body is primed to respond to perceived threats or challenges with increased alertness, energy, and readiness to either confront the danger or escape from it. This can manifest as a rapid heartbeat, heightened anxiety, muscle tension, and a surge of adrenaline, all of which prepare us to act quickly and decisively. The freeze or shutdown state, on the other hand, is characterized by hypoarousal. When the body perceives a threat as overwhelming or inescapable, it may shift into this state as a protective response. This results in a sense of disconnection, numbness, and low energy. It's as if the body is trying to conserve resources by shutting down non-essential functions, leading to feelings of extreme fatigue, emotional withdrawal, or even a sense of detachment from reality. The more stress we experience, the more we shift away from our natural rest and digest state and move towards heightened states of fight or flight, or even freeze or shutdown. This progression indicates how our autonomic nervous system adapts to increasing levels of stress by escalating its response to cope. But when stress becomes excessive or prolonged, it can lead to a state of imbalance and dysregulation. It's important to clarify that when we talk about stress, it's not just the big obvious challenges like demanding jobs, difficult relationships, or financial pressures. More often, we're addressing the subtle, often unnoticed stressors, Things like being perfectionistic, being overly achievement-oriented, controlling, impatient, self-critical, worrying, or overthinking. These small, everyday patterns might seem harmless on their own, but over time, they build up and place a significant strain on our system, impacting our health in ways we don't always realize. I'm sharing this because when I was sick with CFS and healthcare professionals told me I was stressed, I couldn't see how that applied to me. I wasn't working, didn't have relationship problems, didn't do sports, and spent most of my time resting at home. So how could I possibly be stressed? It wasn't until I gained the insight that stress can come from these subtle patterns that everything started to make sense. It completely shifted my understanding and helped me recognize how these unnoticed habits contributed to my overall stress load. This realization was a turning point for me, and it can be for you too. This is why it's something we'll continue to explore together throughout this program. Coming back now to the autonomic nervous system. Under normal conditions, the sympathetic and parasympathetic system work together in harmony to maintain a balanced state in our body. This balance allows us to effectively respond to stress when needed and then recover once the stress has passed. So the ANS helps our body respond to different situations, like getting us ready for action when we're stressed and helping us to relax when we're resting. Under normal functioning, the autonomic nervous system keeps our body's internal functions running smoothly, such as digestion, immune response, heart rate, hormonal regulation, and energy production. What is important to understand is that our human system is designed to primarily function in the parasympathetic rest and digest state. This state supports recovery, relaxation, and overall maintenance of our internal systems. The sympathetic fight or flight reaction, on the other hand, is meant to be activated only occasionally when real threats or challenges arise. Maintaining this balance between rest and occasional activation is crucial for our overall health and well-being. However, excessive and prolonged stress can throw off the balance of our autonomic nervous system. When various physical, emotional, and mental stressors pile up and repeatedly activate our sympathetic fight or flight reaction, our body gets trapped in a constant state of stress and arousal. At the same time, our parasympathetic rest and digest response becomes suppressed, impairing the body's ability to relax and recover properly. Over time, this relentless triggering of the stress reaction can lead to a dysregulated ANS. This means that the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems no longer work in harmony. This imbalance leads to various symptoms marking the onset of conditions like chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, and long COVID, as the body's core processes are disrupted. Once the ANS is dysregulated, it starts to malfunction, flip-flopping between extremes of sympathetic nervous system dominance and parasympathetic shutdown, rather than maintaining a balanced state. On one side, we experience sympathetic nervous system dominance or hyperarousal. In this state, symptoms such as rapid heartbeat, heightened anxiety, muscle tension, and difficulty sleeping are common, keeping us in a constant state of physiological arousal and stress. On the other side, we experience parasympathetic shutdown or hypoarousal. This state, which aims to conserve energy and protect the body, is characterized by symptoms like extreme fatigue, low energy, and a sense of detachment. In this state, it becomes challenging to engage in daily activities and properly recover from stress. This constant flip-flopping between extreme states of hyperarousal, so this is heightened stress and alertness, and hypoarousal, this is extreme fatigue and disconnection, disrupts the body's stability. Over time, this ongoing cycle of dysregulation weakens the body's ability to handle and recover from stress, trapping the autonomic nervous system in a dysfunctional state. This prolonged imbalance contributes to chronic health issues and a wide range of debilitating symptoms. The flip-flopping of the ANS between these two extremes is why people with CFS, fibromyalgia, and long-haul COVID can feel extremely stressed and anxious at one moment and utterly fatigued and disconnected the next. This inconsistency in how our ANS operates contributes to the wide range of symptoms we experience. We recall that the autonomic nervous system acts as the control center of our body, influencing virtually every organ and system. It regulates the immune system, the hormonal system, musculoskeletal system, digestive system, cardiovascular system, respiratory system, reproductive system, urinary system, and even skin functions. When the ANS becomes dysregulated due to too much stress, as it does in conditions like chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, and long COVID, it's no surprise that we experience a wide range of symptoms from different organs and body systems. Here's what can happen. Fatigue. You often feel constantly drained of energy because the sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for our fight or flight response, stays overly active and depletes our energy. Daily activities become a challenge as we struggle with significant fatigue, making it hard to engage in even simple tasks. Cognitive dysfunction. Memory issues, trouble concentrating, and mental fatigue, leading to the experience of brain fog. Sleep disturbances. So this is problems with falling or staying asleep and waking up feeling unrefreshed. Pain, muscle pain, joint aches, inflammation, and morning stiffness. People with fibromyalgia often have widespread pain and heightened pain sensitivity in specific points around the body called tender points. Immune dysregulation. Frequent infections, chronic inflammation, and heightened immune responses. Things that wouldn't have made us sick before now do, and it takes us longer to recover. Post-exertional malaise, PM. This is when symptoms worsen after even minimal physical or mental exertion, often lasting for days or weeks. Orthostatic intolerance. Difficulty standing or sitting upright for long periods, often leading to dizziness, lightheadedness, or fainting. Restless leg syndrome. This disorder characterized by an irresistible urge to move the legs, often accompanied by uncomfortable sensations like tingling, itching, or aching. These symptoms typically worsen in the evening or at night, especially during periods of rest or inactivity, making it difficult to fall asleep or stay asleep. Breathing problems. People with post-COVID syndrome sometimes suffer from shortness of breath or difficulty breathing. Cardiovascular symptoms. Irregular heart rates, blood pressure fluctuations, and chest pain. Digestive problems such as nausea, bloating, and irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. Hormonal imbalances. So these are imbalances in cortisol, thyroid, growth, and sex hormones, or menstrual irregularities. Mood disorders, anxiety, and depression. The ANS is closely connected to the brain regions that regulate emotions. So when it's out of balance, it impacts our mental health, contributing to anxiety, depression, and mood swings. Reduced libido. A decreased interest in sex, often due to fatigue, pain, or hormonal imbalances. Urinary issues. The need to urinate more often or difficulty controlling the bladder. Skin issues. Rashes, feeling hot or cold without clear reasons, excessive or reduced sweating, and the skin may feel painful to touch. Emotional sensitivity. Increased reactivity to stress, easily feeling overwhelmed or emotionally exhausted. As you can see, the dysregulation of our autonomic nervous system leads to the typical range of symptoms many of us are all too familiar with. This makes sense, given the autonomic nervous system is connected to all major body systems, playing a central role in regulating them. When the nervous system is out of balance, many of the body systems cannot function properly, which explains why we experience such a wide range of cognitive and physical symptoms affecting different parts of the body. To alleviate these symptoms, it's crucial to bring the ANS back into balance. This is exactly what we are aiming for with this healing program. By re-establishing harmony between the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, we can return to a calm, rest and digest state where true healing can take place. We can achieve this by applying proven tools and techniques designed to reduce stress and lower arousal levels. In summary, in this lesson, we have learned that the autonomic nervous system acts as the control center of our body, influencing virtually every organ and system. When we suffer from too much stress for too long, our autonomic nervous system gets dysregulated, resulting in the many symptoms we experience, health issues, and illness. In the next video, we'll explore how getting stuck in a vicious cycle of stress is what makes conditions like CFS, fibromyalgia, and long-haul COVID chronic and persistent, keeping us trapped in a state of ongoing illness. If you'd like to continue, you can watch the complete introductory video series for free on my website at healing-space.online. This video series is designed to support you in healing from CFS, fibromyalgia, long COVID, and related syndromes. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and follow. Thank you and see you in the next video.